Hello friends, today we are on day 10 in Proverbs 10, and this is the start of the Proverbs of Solomon. Proverbs 10. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is a sorrow to his mother. Treasures gained by wickedness do not profit, but righteousness delivers from death. The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. He who gathers in the summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps in harvest is a son who brings shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. The memory of the righteous is a blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise of heart will receive commandments, but a babbling fool will come to ruin. Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, but he who makes his way crooked will be found out. Whoever winks the eye causes trouble, and a babbling fool will come to ruin. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. On the lips of him who has understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks sense. The wise lay up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool brings ruin near. A rich man's wealth is his strong city. The poverty of the poor is their ruin. The wage of the righteous leads to life, the gain of the wicked to sin. Whoever heeds instruction is on the path to life, but he who rejects reproof leads others astray. The one who conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever utters slander is a fool. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver. The heart of the wicked is of little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of sense. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Doing wrong is like a joke to a fool, but wisdom is pleasure to a man of understanding. What the wicked dreads will come upon him, but the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the tempest passes, the wicked is no more, but the righteous is established forever. Like vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to those who send him. The fear of the Lord prolongs life, but the years of the wicked will be short. The hope of the righteous brings joy, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is a stronghold to the blameless, but destruction to evildoers. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not dwell in the land. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut off. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked what is perverse. This is future editing Kristen. As I was reviewing the video and the content I recorded, I didn't feel that I gave this chapter due justice on the discussion, so I wanted to do more of a deep dive. As you can tell, it's evening now, and I recorded the earlier part in the morning. But this is the first time that I'm ever walking through the Proverbs in this way. Before, I've just read through several chapters at a time when I've read the Bible. But I'm deliberately taking this one day at a time for each of the days of the month right now, since there's 31 days in the month. And what I failed to notice earlier was this contrast back and forth between the path of the righteous and the path of the wicked. But this chapter is setting up the stage to tell the reader, if you follow the wisdom in this book, the wisdom that Solomon's giving you, these are the benefits, these are the outcomes, this is the path, what it will look like for you. And it's warning people who don't heed these pieces of advice, people who don't follow this path. These are the consequences waiting for you. And that's what he's laying the groundwork for in this chapter. My favorite line in the chapter, which I did mention in the previous version, but it's still my favorite line, one of my favorite proverbs, but definitely the favorite in this chapter. And that is 10:12. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. And that one feels out of place after I'm considering the contrast between being a wise person and all of the benefits that come with it, and being a fool and ignoring Solomon's wisdom and the consequences that's going to come from that. And in that respect, I feel like verse 12 stands out because it's not necessarily contrasting righteous and wicked. It's contrasting love and hate. And it's mentioning that those feelings of hatred, they're just going to stir up bad things in your life. Where when you love, that can cover a lot of behaviors from people. And it's wisdom for us today because it's a reminder, if you're holding on to some kind of hatred for someone, maybe you don't want to forgive. This forgiveness is really about you. It's about what's inside, and letting that mental space go, letting that emotional space go, holding on to negative feelings is just it feels like such a relief when you do it. This verse 10:12, it reminds me of another proverb that we'll get to in chapter 14. But it says, a peaceful heart leads to a healthy body, but jealousy rots the bone. It's highlighting how hanging on to negative feelings, like what's mentioned in this chapter is hatred, it's not good for you anyway. And it stirs up not just strife with other people, but strife within yourself. Whereas love, when we love like Jesus did with unconditional agape love, it can cover when somebody forgets to call us or forgets to text us, because we can consider maybe the text wasn't because they were deliberately trying to avoid us, but something came up and they got busy, or they were rushed through and, wrote a text in passing and we misinterpreted the meaning of it. I'm throwing out just several examples, but when we love and our first emotional reaction is to try and grant grace and consider the possibility that what's happening has absolutely nothing to do with us, but there's other things going on in the world, that kind of grace and love can cover all kinds of offenses that we might feel. And that's really the great example that Jesus gives us. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the chapter. Did you notice that dichotomy between the wise and the foolish? Did you catch something else in the chapter that you found fascinating? I'd love to hear in the comments. And until tomorrow, my friends, we will be on day 11, and that will be 21 days to go, and we will be done with a whole book in the Bible. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.